Hi everybody, I'm Rachel Brady. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel and this is the first time you've watched, then I'm a kind of stay at home, work at home, blogging, working kind of work mum of two. I have my third baby due in September. My eldest is 7 and my daughter is 5. Sorry, I have a, oh my gosh, let's start again, shall we? I have a 7-year-old boy, Arthur. I have a 5-year-old girl, Beatrix, and a baby on the way who is due in September. So I'm 14 weeks pregnant and I am having a quandary, and the way I deal with quandaries is to just talk it over. And I've only really kind of spoken to like one other person about this, and I just thought, should I do a video about it, shouldn't I? And I just thought, just make the video, then watch it back. And sometimes I might not even publish stuff and I just feel better for like getting it out there. So here's the quandary: VBAC or, oh my god, word recall at the minute is so hard. Yeah, VBAC or C-section. So VBAC or elective C-section. This is my problem. It's not a problem, but it's a choice. And so let's get some background. My 7-year-old was born by emergency C-section, but it wasn't an emergency. So what happened was, I'm going to keep it short. What happened was my waters broke. I went in, nothing happened. They sent me home. They said, come back tomorrow. They induced me. The induction didn't work at all. I think I dilated like 1 centimetre. I didn't labour at all. I didn't have any like proper contractions. So I think they call that like failure to progress. I think that's right. So it had been like 48 hours. My waters had broken since. Does that make sense? And they said to me, by this stage we'd had like 3 days of no sleep. Adam was wrecked. I was wrecked. I wanted to kind of just have this baby and go home. And they said, do you want a C-section? We could just have the baby right here, right now, in a couple of hours, or you could try for another 24 hours. At that point, I was like, oh, you've really sold that to me. Not really ever thinking about a C-section, not knowing any of the negative side effects or whatever. Anyway, had the section, baby was here safely, my lovely Arthur. I like regretted that decision. Even though baby arrived safely and that's amazing, I really hated the after feeling of a section. I really struggled with breastfeeding, and I believe that could have been related to him not being squashed through the birth canal. Anyway, next baby, 2 years later, I really wanted a VBAC. I was like really gutted that I had a section. I wasn't traumatized, I wasn't depressed, but I really wanted, I guess in some ways selfishly, I wanted a vaginal birth. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to trust in my body that my body could do it. So I shoved my head in a bucket of VBAC, and this was like coming on for 6 years ago. So even that close time ago, it was still relatively a spiky subject and a kind of like, you've got to fight for your VBAC. It always depends on the doctor you go to in the hospital and even the country you live in, because some countries are really averse to VBAC. Some countries are really pro VBAC. Anyway, I read the books, I read the blogs, I got all my support in my, you know, this is what I need to do. And I didn't have any battles. I got loads of support and I went for my VBAC. I got my VBAC, however, I nearly didn't. And so I was like, B got stuck basically, and my body went into labour naturally. It was all great, but B got stuck. So they put me on the operating theatre and they ended up using the old barbecue tongs. I always forget the name, you know, those ones, not the toilet plunger, the barbecue tongs, Fontoos. No, that's the toilet plunger. Forceps. So I had a forceps delivery, although I was prepped for a section. At that stage, I was like, I just want my baby here safe, as you are obviously. But I got my VBAC. I was very torn. I'd had an episiotomy and so on, and I really struggled with getting over that. So like, I've had both experiences. I know there's no easy way to have a baby. Neither is worse, neither is better. They are just how they are. That's like how my births just happened, and I'm accepting of that. So I went to my appointment with my consultant, and this time I'm under consultant care because a few different reasons. Because I'm a VBAC, but also because I've had a section before, but also because of my prolactinoma, which is like a picture. So many things to include in this video. I'll link to the video below about the prolactinoma. Basically just means I struggled to get pregnant for the 3rd time. but it's all fine. Yeah, so I'm under consultant care, and she just said to me, you know, what birth are you going for? And at that stage, I hadn't read up on it anymore because I didn't need to. I was just like, VBAC? And so she was like, yeah, cool, VBAC, wrote it down. And then I was looking around the internet, as you do, and I was on the amazing, brilliant Constance Hall's Facebook page, catching up with her. She's pregnant, how amazing is that? And I was catching up with her post because I hadn't read about her for ages, and there was a thread on which she said the same question. She was like, ladies, I need a bit of kind of support, advice, opinion. She was booked in to have her VBAC. She had a section with her twins, which were the births she had before this baby, and she was like feeling really empowered and really strong, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna VBAC. Oh, excuse me, that's nice. And since then she kind of shit herself and just kind of went, whoa, actually, should I go for a section? She's got like loads of kids waiting for her at home that need her, but section recovery can be tricky too. However, I think an emergency section is really different to an elective section. So people that I know that have had an elective section really praise it and kind of say it's really great, you get a full night's sleep the night before, you go in, you have your baby, and you can kind of come home like you've not like laboured or like had 3 nights no sleep, or like you're not broken in that sense. And so what happened is I read through this Facebook post it was, and I didn't I just didn't expect what I saw, and it was like quite a lot of accounts of VBACs that hadn't worked, and it was really, really heartbreaking, and it upset me. And I really do you know what it was? It was personal accounts. Instead of reading statistics in a pro VBAC book, like, you know, you're 0. whatever likely to have a rupture of your scar, your section scar, which is the main risk. And hearing first-hand accounts from amazing, strong, incredible women about, I lost my baby, I tried a VBAC and I lost my baby, and other women saying, I tried a VBAC and my daughter now has brain damage. And I just read it and I was like, whoa. And actually, funnily enough, Constance Hall had that reaction as well. She was like, whoa, this has stopped me in my tracks, and I'm so sorry for all you beautiful mums that have had this experience. However, of course, there was loads of pro VBAC as well, and it's one of those subjects, like breastfeeding, it's so divisive, it's so emotional. It like sparked up quite a lot of like fallouts on this thread. And to cut that, I didn't cut the long story short at all, did I? But to get to my point, it's thrown me, and I know I've got loads of time left to think about it, but I just think I wanted to kind of say it out loud, like, I don't know what to go for when the time comes. And what I'm going to do is mull it over for obviously a good long time before I make a decision. I think what the doctor will say to me is, you've got a greater chance now of having a successful VBAC because you've had one successful VBAC already. But then I believe, no one ever said this to me before, but I read since then that failure to progress is one of the reasons that they say, oh, that's, if you've had a failure to progress, it could happen again. So that's not a pro VBAC thing, if that makes sense. Oh, sorry, I'm so preggy brain today. So I'm confused, and I just wondered if any of you guys could offer or shed any light on this. I don't know. Ultimately, of course, it's me that's going to make the decision. My gut instinct at this moment in time is to ask for an elective section, but then I recognise that that seems like utter madness, having had a successful VBAC. So I really don't know, and I'm not panicking about it or anything, even though my body language would say differently. But for me, it's one of those, when I have a real dilemma in my head, I struggle with it, and the way I can make sense of things is to get it out there and ask other people what they think, and just to mull it over and chew it over, and then I'll make my own decision. So thanks for watching my video, guys, and please do comment below and let me know your experiences or your thoughts on this, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it. Bye for now, guys.